Hello, everyone. It's episode 60, the General Damage Podcast.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
And I'm Shane.
Oh, God.
I've been doing that forever. I don't know what he's worried about.
Sorry, oh-godding for...
You've been doing that for fucking 60 episodes.
Well, all right. Maybe not full 60, but in his heart, he's been doing it for the full 60.
Well, let's put it this way. I think I started that about episode 26.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a while.
Oh,
It's been a while. It's more than half the podcast. You've been doing that.
yeah, pretty much.
Keep thinking, why did we bring on Shane? Why did we bring on Shane? Oh yeah, I didn't want to deal with iTunes or the RSS feed because it was like a second language. Still, why did we bring him on?
Because he's a third personality. That's why we have him. Because we like his personality.
Well, I like to think of it like it's a good balancing act, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got like, different types of nerds. We got, Will, the kind of card game nerd, the kind of Souls nerd.
Uh-huh.
Nick's like our big RTS guy, the big tabletop guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just all the other random shit no one likes.
Shane, you've not sold yourself. Not sold yourself very well.
I don't know. I'm like a variety nerd. I mean,
don't you work at a GameStop? Do you not understand the concept of upsell?
I do, but like, hey man, I am tired, and also I am not trying to tell you what game you need to get for Xbox One. Which, by the way, it's
day one of training. Day one of training.
I'm not getting paid right now. I'm doing my thing, and you want to know what? You want me to sell myself? I'm the youthful one. I have the optimistic outlook. There.
Wow.
You have more ailments than both of us.
This is true.
Okay? I'm gonna be 30 in like 31 in like 4 weeks? 30 to 4 weeks?
Oh shit, that's not gonna mail your birthday present.
Yes, you do, apparently.
You know what? He's gonna change his tune when he gets that. Everyone, I mark it now. He's gonna be like, you know what? That was a great gift. Thank you, Shane.
Okay, sure.
He's not even a challenge, man. I mean, that's mundane.
I don't know.
I will agree.
Call you and scream into your ear.
I will agree, Shane. You do have the most energy out of us. This is true.
And I'm still operating off like 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, well, good for you.
I mean,
smarmy bastard.
Smarmy indeed. Well, let me tell you how yesterday went, because this is kind of funny.
Okay.
I helped my friend move to Worcester, and Worcester is about an hour and 40 minutes from where I live.
Ooh, Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yep, also spelt Worcester.
Yeah, but pronounced Worcester.
Yep.
Because God only knows why.
Worcester?
Yeah, Worcester.
It's like Worcestershire sauce.
Well, yes and no.
If any of you can say that properly.
Well,
basically.
So, what happened was, we were helping him move, and I should have known that this wasn't going to be as smooth as it was supposed to be.
Right.
And, my friend Adam gets me and our other buddy Derek, because we've known each other forever, and also Derek and I are probably the only people who would put up with Adam moving. And so, I'm with Adam in the moving truck, and as we're talking, he's like, yeah, you're only handling the light stuff. And I'm like, that's fair, I got the bag leg, and he's like, you also got all the other random crap, and possibly arthritis. I'm like, he's not wrong, right? But we get to his apartment, and it's in Worcester, and it's on Main Street, and I should have known what was going to happen. The fucker got an apartment in one of
the third floor.
Well, it's on the third floor, but it's an apartment building in between two, so it's actually technically the second floor of that building because there's no base floor. Because it's between two businesses.
Oh.
And so it's a really narrow hallway.
Yeah.
And 2 flights of stairs with the tightest turn ever. And so we get there, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a shit show. Lo and behold, Adam and Derek carry all of his fucking beds, and, like his box spring, this fucking bookcase, this table, and they have to, like, do fucking geometry to try and get it around this corner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But once we finally get everything moved and we start placing everything, and it's a pretty nice looking apartment, but it's also really old. And I'm like, I hate to say it, but like this looks like the type of place that would be haunted, right? Just as a joke. Mm-hmm. And Adam, not missing a beat, walks up to me, grabs this thing off his door handle to his bedroom, the room he's picked as his bedroom, and goes, "Oh yeah, yesterday Kayla and I were here, and we found this pentagram in the room." And he has a pentagram charm, and I was just like, "You're gonna die in here." Someone died in this apartment for it to be this good.
Speaking of someone who's moved like 9 months ago, it'll be almost a year. It'll be a year in August. Mm-hmm. Beds are the worst thing to move.
God, yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're awesome as the function that you can lay down on them. Mm-hmm. And they're better with the second person there, preferably someone you like. Unlike Will, who I slept with.
Yes, go on.
I have a story I can tell about sharing a bed with Will.
Oh my god, I don't think I'm ready for this.
I mean,
you'll hear it, but no, it's just there's got to be a better way to move a fucking bed because they're just so goddamn cumbersome.
Oh, dude, when I moved out here, Ashley's dad and I had to move the bed Ashley has. And Ashley's bed, she bought it after graduation. Her graduation is like a queen size. Mm-hmm. And so you never think about the actual sizes, right? Like, right. I've moved a bunch of twin-size beds. Not really that bad.
Right.
They're all right, basically.
The moment you go a step up in size, it is the fucking bane of my existence. The fucker's too heavy, it flops over, it slaps you in the face.
Yeah, well, that's because with a twin, you can basically hug it. I mean, you can like full like take both arms and kind of like wrap around it and kind of like waddle it down a hall or something like that.
Right, it's much easier to move.
Yeah. With a queen, it's twice as big.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
It's a bit more of a pain. Well, yeah,
it definitely sucks to move that shit. But real quick to get to the little dumbass story we will. I think Will knows the story I'm going to tell.
I'm pretty sure I know which one.
So we're in Seattle, and there was a bunch of us in the hotel. So it was like me and Will in one bed, then two friends in another bed, and then our friend Rachel, who's sleeping on a cot that's like pushed up against like where the TV is and everything else. And so she's kind of a bit in the pathway, but not like super impeding it.
Sounds like the basic con setup.
Yep, basically.
Yeah. So I get up out of bed and I need to go to the bathroom. It's early in the morning, late in the morning, whatever you want to call it. Sun's not up. Will is kind of moving around on his side of the bed. So I go in the bathroom, take care of it, come back, sit down, I lay down, kind of get back under the covers, and then Will just shoots up. Just like, boom, he's in sitting position, like, just not doing anything, and then he turns slowly to me, and I'm looking at him like, you alright, brother? And he looks at me and goes, no. And then just falls back asleep, and I'm just sitting there just going, I'm laying there just going, what the fuck was that? And then I fall back asleep a little bit, restless. And I see it, and I just got out of the shower or something like that. I'm dressed, and I'm chatting with, the people. And then he's finally up. He's going to hop in the shower. I'm like, hold up. Do you remember last night? He's like, what do you mean? It's like, you yelled no at me at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And he's like, I did?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't wake up anyone else in the goddamn room.
I am truly surprised too.
Yeah. That was weird. That was a weird ass moment.
And that's when Will found out he succumbs to night terrors.
I mean,
no, night terrors are something totally different.
I wouldn't put it past it, but I am known to have conversations while I'm asleep. So, I'm a sleep talker. So not surprised. Not fully surprised, I guess.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, sharing a bed sharing a bed with a friend no matter the situation, sometimes can be interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely an eye-opening experience.
Yeah. Well, I shared the bed with our friend Jessica, and she likes to punch sleepbox. So she's just like hitting me in the back the entire time. It's great.
Presents a good back
That
massage.
was a long while ago, and I remember that.
Well, I mean, other eye-opening things. What was that? I think something that got everyone was Star Trek has a new show, right?
Aw, yeah.
Yes. Star Trek Discovery, and it's got actually a fairly decent cast.
It definitely does. The cast looks very good.
Well, who's in it?
Well, the only one that I know of, I think Jason Isaac's in it. If you don't know who that is,
I am Googling right now.
Yeah, Jason Isaac played. He's been in a ton of shit. One of the things he played was Lucius Malfoy.
Ah, that's why it sounded familiar.
Yeah. But he's been in a ton of other stuff. So I think supposedly he's in it. The main star is Sonequa Martin Green, and she's from Walking Dead fame. So she's like the main protagonist, I guess. And in the trailer, if you guys saw it, there's like a captain in it because she's not captain yet. Right. I think that's probably what will be going. The captain that she's talking to looks really fucking familiar. I cannot recall where I've seen her but
let's see. I'm pulling up. She is Wei Lin in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's been in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sunshine, Babylon AD.
I think she was in that one little spot at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, which we will get to.
She is, yep. Yeah. Her name is Michelle Yeoh. Yeah. I think I pronounced it right. If not, I apologize. Yeah.
And Doug Jones, he's in it. He's playing the alien.
Oh.
Ironic.
That is...
dude is always in makeup.
He is... Yeah, I was going to say, he is known more for being in makeup with prosthetics than most people.
Yeah. I know he played Abe in Hellboy, and I want to say he was the fawn in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, he is... Fawn... He's two characters in that movie, apparently. He's the fawn and the pale man.
The one with the eyes or the hands?
Yeah.
That fucking thing gave me nightmares.
Dude, that thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, he was also
Star Trek...
Silver Surfer.
Oh, he was a body?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that failed.
I mean, not his fault, but,
No, it's not his fault at all. But, to talk about a failure.
I think it's awesome that, like, if you just Google Doug Jones and then put in images, like, every 3 pictures is a picture of just him in makeup.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's probably really easy to put in makeup because I'm pretty sure they have like a cast or a mold of him, and it's like, oh, we're casting Doug Jones. Easy, got it, done.
I'm also sure they're like, Doug, how do you feel about being in makeup again? I'm pretty sure he doesn't complain too much.
I don't think he complains. Well, to go back into Hellboy, it was easy for them to do Ron Perlman as Hellboy because they already had a mold of him because of the TV series Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's right.
That he did. So it's like, oh, they had that. They're like, oh, okay, let's just use this, and that'll help make Hellboy with Ron. But to go back to Star Trek, I'm happy that they're going back to a TV series.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I'm not happy that I'm going to have to pay $5 just to watch it on CBS Access.
Oh, is that where it's only accessible?
Yeah, that's it. It's not going to be on actual TV. You're going to have to go online and do CBS Access or CBS All Access or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's kind of
knowing CBS, they will not drop all the episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, they will not have all the episodes constantly like, oh, if you want to watch episode 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, well, they're only going to be up for a couple of weeks, and then we'll drop the 4, 5, and 6 or some bullshit like that. That's what I think they're going to do. They're not going to leave them up, which will suck because it's like, you do know we're in the era of binge watching, right?
Right. Business wise, it's not great.
Yeah, I saw this happening with Hulu and Netflix. I saw it like, okay, HBO has its own thing now. Starz has its own thing now. Soon Fox and NBC and ABC, and of course CBS, they will all have their own platform thing where you have to pay money to do it,
right? Which
just blows ass.
Oh yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Not much, realistically.
Yeah, but what's interesting about Discovery? I consider myself a Trekkie to a point. Like, I really like Next Generations. I like Next Generations into the second season.
Okay. Sure.
Like, the first season, I just can't stand the look of everyone. It's way too 80s. Everything's way too tight. There's too much perm. The makeup's bad with Michael Dorn as Worf. I just can't stand it. And but it does get good. I think the one good episode in the first season is when Tasha Yar dies. That's like one of the last episodes of that season. And then there's a couple of good gems in the second season, and that just gets good from there.
Yeah.
It's just a story for most Star Treks, for the exception of Enterprise, which just failed.
It started off all right, and then kind of took a nosedive. Enterprise, I liked season 1 of Enterprise, and then it decided to go down its own little path.
Yeah, but like Generations was good, DS9 was really good, as a drama was really good, and I like Voyager. People hate it for some reason, but I really like it.
Voyager, I think, is one of those hit or miss.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is hit or miss in the sense that, like, I think they chickened out. Because they got to a point where it's like, you're in the Delta Quadrant, which is a quadrant that's not explored by any Federation species. And so they have to make new species. And they did that for a couple seasons, but then they just chickened out and started talking about holograms and holograms becoming sentient. So like, oh, okay, well, we have all these costumes made and this makeup made of Cardassians and Ferengi and whatever. We'll just recycle that shit.
Yeah.
That was just frustrating. For me, it was, like, stupid. But I like Voyager and I like DS9 and I like Generations. And I'm looking forward to Discovery. But I think Discovery is interesting because it takes place 10 years before Kirk and Spock. Before any of that happens. So that's going to be kind of neat. And there's something is going to happen with, like, Klingons, apparently.
Right. There's a big thing that has to deal with, like, Klingons taking over territory, it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something. Something's going to happen with it. I have thought it was going to be about this, the incident at Khitomer, but I'm like, oh, wait, no. That's like 200, that's like 150 years before all of that. That happens, that's when, like, Worf is 2.
Yeah.
The attack on Khitomer, which is the whole thing of how the Klingon Empire and the Federation became allies. But yeah, so I don't know what the hell this is going to be about.
That's so. Here's my other question: Where do you think it sits in the bulk of the franchises? Do you think it's going to be more related to the J.J. Abrams Star Treks?
Well,
or
are you talking style?
Well, not so much style, but I guess where it exists in which timeline.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't give an inclination that it was talking about what timeline, if any.
Right.
We'll probably discuss. It depends on who's the creators behind it.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to make a Star Trek TV show, I would not bring what the movies are doing.
Sure.
Because I know the movies have pissed off hardcore Trekkies.
Yeah.
Which I hear a little too much about, and it's like, I don't really care. I like the movies.
Yeah, I think they're fun. I think they've, like, definitely the last one they did, not so much luster attached to it, but still not a bad movie.
Right. But yeah, if anything, I think they'll stick with the main timeline.
Okay.
You know, Kirk's dad didn't die, all that shit.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
It also then, feels like it connects to the rest of it. Even though style-wise, it definitely is not. It's just too hard to. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm excited for it. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I just have to wonder if I really want to spend the money to do all access for just this one TV show.
Right. And who knows, it may end up getting on one or the other, either Hulu or Netflix, if they're smart.
It probably won't go, maybe Hulu, but I do not think it'll go to Netflix.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
so fingers crossed that it gets on one of them. That'd be good.
But this is kind of good because I've been wanting a good sci-fi show. I haven't watched The Expanse yet, and at this rate, I don't think I will.
Gotcha.
So I probably will try and watch the Star Trek show. Yeah. We'll just see what happens.
If you do get a chance, I do recommend it. It's very good. Expanse.
What, The Expanse?
Yeah, it's very good. Season 2 is very good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Side note, speaking of Netflix and TV series, something else that I just remembered, there was going to be there's nothing set solid, but I know our friend Dash, who's probably listening, maybe not, maybe so. There's going to be a Witcher series on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I saw a little blurb about that.
Yeah, I don't know anything else about it. I mean, right now they're like in pre-production. It's like, hey, there's going to be a Witcher series.
It's a very non-committal
anything.
It's a very non-committal announcement.
Yeah.
There's just like it's gonna happen. Maybe like whenever.
Yeah. It's announced now, and it's kind of like Samurai Jack, where they announced the final season 2 or 3 years ago, but that's because they had to draw the fucker.
Yeah,
and that takes time.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, a Witcher series would be really cool. We talk about that a lot here, where video game adaptations, right? I think taking The Witcher, a video game, and turning it into a TV series, maybe a better step than, how we always talk about they try to make the video game movie.
Yeah.
That said, though, I speculate some interesting casting options.
Yeah.
And then again, definitely. Too, it could be a Witcher series that's not even about Geralt. I mean, there's more than one Witcher.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's obvious. They say so much in the game. And apparently in the books. But with that's I think I've said that constantly, where it's like, if you're gonna do a video game movie, don't redo the story that's already been done, because if the audience who wants to see it has played it, they've lived it.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Like, talk about something else.
Well, also.
Go ahead, Shane.
Well, I mean, for instance, I like The Witcher. I played the first one, and I played the second one. I still have to play the third, right?
Okay, yeah.
And right. I'm kind of like, I give a lot of leeway. But then there are some people, like our friend Dash, who are diehard about The Witcher. And if they even go anywhere near the main story, right? Every decision they make is going to be under a microscope. From who's going to play Geralt to which side characters do you have, what time is it after Witcher 3, before Witcher 3, in between 1, in between 2, before 1. Like, there's too many things, right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's like, even if they do pick original characters, right? Say they get the author of the Witcher books and it's like, hey, write us a script.
And he won't. He's mad.
He won't. Yeah, he won't, right? But if he could, even that would still be a little bit under scrutiny, because it's like, because it would be, if it hits too close to this main story, like, oh, this guy's, he's so badass, and he kind of reminds me of Geralt, and then some people go, but why isn't it Geralt? You know what I mean? It's all that back and forth, and it's at the same time it's infuriating, but it's also kind of justified because you have certain expectations. And so I kind of like, I heard about it and I was like, I'll wait and see before passing any kind of thoughts or judgment about like their decisions, because it's this is literally like saying, I want to bake cookies, and you're literally just looking up the recipe. You have no ingredients.
Well, even then, it's like casting. Like, I mean, before any casting comes out, like, people all immediately judge. And I just kind of think back to when Heath Ledger was announced to play the Joker. Immediately, everyone fucking hated it. But then look at what we got.
Yeah.
We got this amazing Joker. So, just because you don't like the person that's cast doesn't mean anything. Oh, he doesn't look like Geralt if he's playing Geralt, per se. He doesn't look like Geralt. Okay, fine. You know there's this thing called makeup and prosthetics, right? You know, give us some fucking time. He'll wear a wig, they'll do some beard, they'll dye it, they'll make it look white, they'll give him contacts or digitally do the thing with his eyes. He'll look like Geralt in the end, if they do Geralt.
I mean, they could hire that one cosplayer.
Yeah, that dude.
Mall cosplay is literally living Geralt.
Yeah.
The only thing...
But yeah, that's a problem with game adaptations is they say, oh, hey, let's just oh, hey, you guys like Tomb Raider? Oh, let's just do Tomb Raider. Let's have Lara Croft. And I don't, for that game, you probably have to do it. But for other games like Halo or say Gears of War, don't put Master Chief as a main character because one, there's nothing to Master Chief. Like nothing. There's no personality. There's nothing to act. And two,
Master Chief.
He is literally an empty suit. And all he is he's basically the king of lame one-liners, really.
I really,
and not even that.
I really hope they don't go with Geralt. I hope they choose someone else. If they want to do this series, like, don't pick the main character from the games. Because I have a very negative opinion of the games. I don't think they're fantastic. I actually think the main character is a boring sod. He's like a wet sock that I'm kind of annoyed that I have to like play with. Is full of depth as a slice of bread, white bleached bread.
Okay,
man, I cannot stand the games.
I get it.
So like, if they want to focus on other characters, whether it be another Witcher or the people that interact with the Witchers. Like, focus on people that aren't the Witcher specifically, but the people that follow the Witcher. That also could be good. So, like, we could have more interesting characters.
That would be good to follow, not an apprentice Witcher, but just an average Joe who somehow gets the help from the Witcher and has to be with him for some reason. Yeah. And they're on this adventure. So the audience, and this would be the common audience who doesn't know anything about the Witcher, is more relating to the guy who's being helped than this weird looking dude. That's the way I would do it.
If they had to follow a Witcher, my recommendation would be make it the villain from Witcher 2.
Okay,
at the end of Witcher 2, the villain, and by the way, anyone who's spoilers ahead, this video game's been out forever. Okay, Witcher 2, you're trying to find this assassin who's also a Witcher, right? And at the
okay, I know who you're talking about.
He's this big, huge guy. He's bald. He's nothing like Geralt, right? He uses like twin daggers as his weapons, and he, Geralt's like, so why'd you frame me? He goes, you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Geralt's like, okay, that makes sense. So why are you killing all these kings? And he goes, well, the person who's paying me is paying me a lot of money, and my Witcher school got destroyed and disbanded, and I want to rebuild it. Because he's from, like, Geralt's from the school of the wolf, this guy's from the school of the serpent.
Okay.
And actually, him and Geralt have met before, and, like, Geralt's like, you helped me out that one time. He's like, yeah, we're totally chill. And actually, what's really cool is, like, you can choose to fight him, or you can let him go. And I was like, you're not really a bad guy. You are literally, this is war, and you did what you thought was right. Fuck it. Like, I'm not to judge, right? And I think it'd be really cool to follow that character as he tries to go and rebuild his fucking Witcher school.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of ways they can go with it, but, like, with a series, it's different. With a movie, it's different. This is a slow segue. If you take the Marvel approach, and if you look at all the Marvel movies out there, even though I feel like every now and then I feel fatigued with Marvel, well, with superhero movies in general, but if you take a good chunk of all those movies, a lot of them have a finite point, which is like you take Iron Man 3, that's about PTSD. Winter Soldier is about espionage and who do you trust and loyalties and things like that. Yeah. And it's actually very telling at the time it was made. So they all have this finite point. The most recent movie that we're about to discuss, which is Guardians of the Galaxy, is more about family you choose than your actual family, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
but that's what I think a video game should do. I think most movies should do that. Is like pick what the topic might be, and then go from there. If you were to say do a Gears of War movie, like I've been talking about or something like that, is you basically pick the topic, and the topic would, in the case of Gears of War, would be about trauma and how 3 characters deal with said trauma. You have one trying to control, one who's just going into despair with it, and one who's just pissed off at it. And then you go from there and build the story. And you don't focus on Marcus Phoenix, because again, that story's been told.
Right.
And with the Witcher series, you don't focus on Geralt, because love it or hate it, that story's been told.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Star Trek Discovery, looking forward to it. Witcher series, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how they handle it.
We'll see how they handle it for sure. You guys want to talk about the meat we have?
Oh yes, please.
On the table.
Oh yeah, the meat and potatoes.
We had to put it off because of me. So.
yeah. If Shane saw, did it actually go with you? I'm pretty sure.
No, she did not actually.
Right.
Oh, really?
The Guardians of the Galaxy is the one movie that Ashley was really like, meh.
Okay.
And so she did not care to see the sequel, which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair warning right away. I guess we're going to be doing spoilers.
Yeah, it'll be a spoiler cast.
Yeah.
Movie's been out for 2 weeks.
This will be spoilers. Yeah, roughly. Week and a half. Well, it'll be 2 weeks when this is up.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, first and foremost, I really did like it. I had problems with its pacing, but I really liked it. And like the stuff on Ego's planet was where I thought where it was kind of waning a bit.
It dragged out a little bit there.
Yeah, the stuff with Yondu and Rocket and the Ravagers and everything like that, I thought was where it really shined.
Yeah.
And the whole scene with Yondu and the arrow and the new fin
was dope.
Oh my god, that was just awesome. That was like the ending in the last movie where he took out all those bad guys, and he just took them all out. There's like, I don't know, 20 of them, and that was that, but like times 100.
Yeah,
I friggin' loved it.
It was a friggin' phenomenal. Just like sequence of slaughter. It was great to watch.
So I noticed one thing after watching the movie. I went back and I read a lot of people's opinions on it, and everyone said like it was okay because there was too many subplots, right? Or it was good, but it could have been better in certain areas because of all the back and forth they were doing.
Right.
And so I applaud this movie because it did one of the trickiest things, which is you have an established main cast, and then you split them up.
Right.
And that's always hard for people to adjust to. Because the moment you take up the main cast, if it's even just like 3 to 4 people, and you split them up in groups of 2, now you have to focus on both of them equally. In this case, it was really more like... it was more like you left Rocket alone. I mean, he had Groot, but in this movie, Groot was really like a kind of like a supporting role.
Yeah.
And by the way, excellent use of Baby Groot. Fucking perfect supporting character, because character doesn't talk. That character's facial cues tell the story from his perspective. Excellent.
Yeah.
But I think that actually... one of the things that I say is really great about the movie is you could look at it as a there's definitely the overarching plot, which is the family you choose to have. But this is also, my opinion, the completion of Rocket's hero's journey.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one thing that it shows.
Yeah,
because it got started in the first movie. but it never really went anywhere, and I always felt like that wasn't fair to Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like there wasn't a moment in the first movie for that to continue.
Yeah.
So I mean, that made sense. But yeah, I mean, it was really telling where it concluded. I think if you guys can agree with me on this, it concluded when he shot Gamora, like he tasered her to knock her out, and he said, "I can't lose another friend today."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's kind of where it ended. That's where it's like, okay, yeah, he knows what it is. And the scene with him and Yondu and the ship, where Yondu just tells him off and basically reads him like a goddamn book.
Mm-hmm.
I think is just like one of the best moments in the scene, and the fact that they didn't like mess it up with a dumb quib or anything like that, or even Groot talking.
Yeah.
Like it made it.
Oh, definitely.
It made it even better. So
I liked it because it actually paralleled Rocket in the first movie, where Rocket yells at Drax. Because, Rocket just tells her the truth. Everyone has dead people, and you don't have the right to get other people killed because you're sad about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, now it's Rocket getting a taste of his own medicine. And I like it because the other thing, too, was, like, them in the cell, right? Like, automatically, we already have established Rocket breaks out of prisons. This is his thing.
Yeah.
So he already knows. And Yondu is basically the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you notice in their interaction, Rocket's unprovoked, and he just immediately fires off, about his teeth, right?
Right.
And then I just love how, like, unfazed Yondu is. He just says, "Are you like a professional asshole?"
Yeah.
That was like my favorite line and just delivery. It was so good because like it was funny, but in like a really awkward, tense way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really interesting. The whole moments with Yondu and Rocket were great. The stuff with Peter and his dad was interesting. The cheesy moment where he made a ball was kind of okay.
I was perfect for what the scene, especially since we were reflecting on stuff that Peter wasn't able to do because he didn't really have a dad. Like, it's kind of the perfect thing. Yeah.
Well, he didn't have the dad that he thought he should have.
Right.
Which he never did. But yeah,
There's actually one other really interesting thing.
Yeah. What?
So it was they Kurt Russell, by the way, excellent casting choice.
Oh yeah,
fucking I love Kurt Russell in this. Granted, his look reminded me very much of Jeff Bridges in Tron.
Yeah, I did get a Jeff Bridges feel from that.
I actually mistook him for Jeff Bridges at first because is that Jeff Bridges? And I'm like, no, that's the wrong voice.
Yeah,
but what I think was great was Kurt Russell's ego, right? His initial interaction with Peter is really overly friendly for basically like the dad who walked out on you,
right?
And I love how it creates this great apprehension. But I think what really sold, like, even though I agree with you, Nick, like the Ego's Planet scenes were kind of meh. Like,
well, it was a lot of sitting around, and like there's a whole romance of Gamora and Peter, and like I love how Peter basically describes the same bullshit that's happening in this movie with sitcom logic, and that's what it is.
But see, I liked when Ego explains himself to Peter, like he's explaining his purpose. And there's this great thing though that Kurt Russell is like trying really hard to share this like emotion, and Chris Pratt does a great job of like a kid who is trying actually really hard to accept the olive branch. He's talking him through it, and like granted, like his whole like how he tells it with like the statues is really kind of like cool, but at the same time really weird.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, and it is, and that's the thing is it's like if you notice how Chris Pratt he's talking to Ego, right? He's like, yeah, but his voice is saying versus how his face, his eyes are reacting to the statues. It's basically like I'm listening, but I can't really connect with you,
right?
And like,
well, yeah, and it's also weird to try and connect with something like that.
No, and I thought that was great because like they never had that connection, so there's never really any form of betrayal. And it's only when Ego imposes his will on Peter that it's like, oh, okay, the connection's artificial. It's never gonna be real,
right?
Yeah,
and I thought that was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you knew it was coming. The moment he says, your mother, having to leave your mother was my biggest heartache.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it was a mercy killing.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was like you could feel the tension behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that's messed up. The whole scene was messed up.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But as I was talking with Eunuch after the movie, we've kind of have this feeling about a lot of these villains in these Marvel movies that they just kind of fall a little flat.
Yeah,
and I still felt like even though I think I definitely feel the role was done well, it kind of felt a little flat at points.
Yeah, well, like, part of it is we all kind of go back to the one villain that we all really like, which was Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Loki had this charm, there's a suave and cockiness to it, and I think that's also to do with the fact that, like, this is going to be, like, the first Avengers movie. We're going to see these characters on screen together.
Right.
I think that kind of helps the Loki thing, but the thing about the fight with Ego was also the fight with the Sovereign, which on some level didn't need to be there, but it made the fight a little bit more chaotic, which it needed. Mm-hmm. Even though there's like one of my favorite scenes was Peter going around to everyone asking for tape.
Oh yeah,
it's like the best comedic moment in that film. But it's how do I put this? It's kind of like fighting a storm. How the hell are you going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
The final fight it was lackluster, and I don't know even though if I even want to call Ego a villain. He was just a greedy bastard.
Yeah,
Ronan was a villain. Ego was just kind of like, hey, look at me, and he's a narcissist. And he almost killed him.
It is hard to look at Ego as what you expect from villains these days.
Yeah,
I mean his intentions, like his intention was there. Like he wanted his thought behind his actions. Were kind of, you understand where he's coming from, but they're on a psychotic level, and I think that's kind of hard to I guess back to some degree. It's hard to follow along and go, yeah, no, I totally, implicitly am cool with this. And also, it's hard to feel like everything's in peril as well when it's just some crazy person doing crazy things.
Yeah, it's hard to feel things are in peril, and it's one planet, and there's like a total of 9 people there.
See, I don't think it's weird. Because Ego, in my opinion, as a villain, he's not even, like, he's what I don't even really want to call him a villain. He's just like, because he actually has a really great, profound moment,
right?
As an immortal being, which he says, "I met intelligent life, and it was disappointing."
Yeah,
and he's basically like a perfect example of someone who has achieved immortality and has lived long enough to not have any social interaction. Because that's basically what his logic is like. Well, I need a purpose because I have infinite time, and if I'm the best there is, well, then everything else should be the best there is. And that's not necessarily actually crazy train of thought for him, because I bet he molded over for about millennia.
Oh yeah.
But even the Sovereign, right? As a villain, like if you want to call them the villain, or like
I don't even think I could call them the villain.
Yeah, right. Like,
well, if you want to call another narcissist, I mean, if the other undertone of this movie had a thing, it was family you choose, but it was also about narcissism.
Oh yeah,
because both the antagonists, the Sovereign and the Sovereign in general, were just basically narcissists.
Yes,
they're all bioengineered to look perfect and beautiful.
Right.
And they didn't, but. Yeah.
Well, like, the thing about the Sovereign, which is interesting, was like they're actually not in the wrong. They got shafted. No, right?
They got shafted. The property was stolen. Yeah, they wanted vengeance.
But so I was talking to Adam actually on our drive about villains, right? Mm-hmm. About what? And he brought up Loki, and I'm like, yeah, Loki's a villain, but at the same time, he's not the villain. Well, he's actually in the first Thor movie, because I've recently watched it. Mm-hmm. He's actually a victim.
Oh yeah. But that's kind of Loki's story in general,
right? But then even in Avengers, right, where he is the villain, his actions, even Thor says it. It's like, who put the idea about ruling Earth in your head? Well, there's Thanos. The Shadow, like, and he's like, well, does that mean is it always Thanos? I'm like, well, kind of, because Thanos is the villain. Like, there are villains, right? There are bad guys who do messed up things, but if the true villainy is going to come from him, that's the whole point of all this.
Yes,
like that's what we all want, anyways. That's what we all believe.
Yeah,
and so
but it's going to be interesting when the Thanos finally pops up, because no one, maybe for the part of maybe Nebula and Gamora, have ever said the name Thanos.
Right.
So when he shows up on Earth, it's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, like, there's that, and then of course, like, the other thing I thought was really cool about Ego, right? Going back to him, was that he was a legitimate threat, but in the most intriguing way.
Sure.
Like his threat was so subversive. He just planted a seed everywhere.
Literally.
Which is really messed up when you think about it, but like that was such a brilliant idea, because if he was evil, right, he probably would have succeeded, because he probably would have had a bunch of contingency plans. Instead, this was just a guy who's like, oh, I can do it if I have enough power.
Well, this is a guy who's right. I'm immortal. I have enough. I don't know what to do. Well, what if I do this? And tried something. Yeah, like, so his plan was actually kind of brilliant in my mind, because of like, oh, he's just gonna what exactly was he, like, the glob exactly? Oh, he was. You were about to say, Shane. It's like a terraforming system. Its purpose was to convert every planet into another one of him.
Okay, so that was it. Yeah.
And
so I was like, that's really cool. Now, granted, Ego he's definitely in the immoral scale, though, simply because of how he viewed his own kids.
Oh, yeah, they're just batteries, basically.
Yeah, like, like he has a cavern filled with the bodies of his own children.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying.
But the thing is, like, it's terrifying and it's messed up, and I think it's also tragic, because you realize he's a being who's so focused on his purpose that, for a lot of, for moral beings, one of the big things is parentage. It's it's creating life and then watching it grow.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how detached he is from everything.
Yeah, and it's like he thinks his purpose is amazing, and on the flip side, it's like, well, congratulations, you've just cheated yourself out of what most, living mortal beings consider, like, one of the best achievements you could have.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting, because it's really messed up, it's terrifying, and a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, he's evil, and I'm like, he's messed up, definitely, but it's not malicious. It's just very apathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing he was creating, I'm trying to look for it now, it's actually a theory in physics, but I cannot find it.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm looking through after the film, like the next day, it's like, this movie got to me, like it stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I want to go see it again. But it's So I was reading trivia and stuff like that, and fuck, I can't go through all this and find out what the fuck it was.
Thinking about it,
fuck it.
Because I mean, there's a wide variety of Marvel villains, right?
Right.
And they're not all amazing,
right.
But the ones that you could definitely at least say they are bad people are the ones that actually probably come from Earth more than anything. Like Ironmonger is a good example, right?
Sure, of a good villain. Of
a villain. I mean, he was quality in a way because he was very much human greed. There was the Hornet in Ant-Man. I mean,
I didn't see the Hornet in the end. I've still not seen that movie.
Oh, the Ant-Man?
You haven't seen Ant-Man?
No, I've not seen Ant-Man at all.
Well, I mean, like,
you take it or leave it. I mean, you saw Civil War. That was good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course like Civil War, right? The real villains that I can't remember his name, but that agent.
Well, yeah. At the same time, like the whole thing about Civil War was never about the real villain. It was about secrets and friendship and things breaking.
Oh yeah, but like,
I mean, yeah, it was that didn't even need that dude.
It didn't.
He was a waste. He was just a waste. Of time.
I mean, he was a plot device.
He was definitely the vehicle to tell the story.
Right.
But I at least liked his character.
I kind of disagree with that.
But... I mean, I liked his character.
I mean, they had to instill some discord amongst people, and
but
he does
discord. Yeah, he does. But no one notices him for the entire thing, and it's his whole intention is not revealed until the end of the movie.
Right.
And there's nothing that leads up to it.
Well,
I mean, there's nothing that really says anything about it.
His thing is he's like the embodiment of a want or a desire, something that's intangible made tangible.
Yeah, he's revenge.
Yeah, he creates a situation that would bring would split a group in what should be done. And like, he's not he's not a major. Like, he's not a villain by any shred of the imagination, but what his intention is malicious, and he succeeds. In a lot of cases, he succeeds in what he put into motion.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Civil War, it is the only Marvel movie that I can think of, for the exception of maybe a couple, the only action movie in the current era that we're in. That had these huge action set pieces with a ton of explosions and just great fights, but the world was not in danger.
Sure.
Like, there's no end of the world calamity.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting, which is the difference between this and Guardians, where the universe was technically in danger.
Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't mind talking about the Michael Rooker who played Yondu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The Mary Poppins scene I thought was awesome.
Yeah, it's funny.
Or I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. That was a great scene. I was not expecting him to go out.
Oh man,
that caught me off guard. And his line at the end, "He may have been your father, Peter, but he was not your daddy."
Yeah,
was like, wow.
Only he could say that and get away with it.
Oh, seriously.
Yeah.
Awesome. What a kick in the balls. God.
Yeah.
I mean, he went out like a badass.
He did, and he did the right thing.
Yeah.
And it was like we had two kind of family resolves.
Yeah.
Where we had that with Peter, with Quill and Yondu, and then we had the Nebula and Gamora story.
Right.
And the fact that Nebula just said all I wanted was a sister in the middle of the film, I thought was really telling. And even at the end when Gamora hugged her, and she didn't push her away, but like once the hug was gone, Nebula just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that was closure on everyone's front, so I thought that was awesome.
It closed a lot of things that had been left open since the first movie. Just good.
For me, just a little side note. Okay, I don't know if they're gonna go back and get the Milano. The ship that was crashed is never mentioned afterwards.
Right.
But they have that big ship now.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, they have the big ship now. I like to think Kraglin, Yondu's loyalist, who's also his name's Sean Gunn. He's the director's brother.
Awesome.
And he's also, here's a weird thought. He's the reference for the onset of Rocket.
Wow.
So he plays Rocket in the scenes on set. Like they squat him down. He's in like a green leotard.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
But here's the thing: in this scene with Rocket and Yondu telling Rocket off, Kraglin's there. Sean Gunn is there,
right,
watching this. So I'm like, okay, was Michael Rooker yelling at nothing, or did they superimpose him there? Like, which was digital? Mm-hmm. Where was Sean Gunn in that whole scene? That's what awesome. I want to know. Yeah, but it's really interesting. The thing is, I think Kraglin is going to stay with the Guardians.
Yeah,
probably.
Because he doesn't have anything else to go. And him and Peter kind of know each other. You could call them friends, if not associates. Yeah. I thought it was really funny that he hands Peter the Zune.
Oh God,
that was awesome.
I love it when he gets has about 3 people on Earth will listen to the Zune now. It's really popular. It's got 300 songs on it, and Peter goes, 300 songs? He's like blown away.
I laughed, I think, a lot more because I was like, yeah, I had a Zune.
I looked at you when that came on.
So,
but real quick, if anything, I want them to name that ship either like the Udanta, which is Yondu's last name.
Yeah.
If it's just a thought, like that's what I think they should name it. If they name it anything. Mm-hmm. If it's going to be around, I think that'd be kind of cool.
And it doesn't seem like there's any reason why it won't be around unless they decide to destroy it.
Well, between now and Avengers Infinity War, I don't know why they would.
Yeah.
But there's also we're getting kind of close to what I want at the end of Thor Ragnarok, and they set it up, I think, because Nebula goes off on her own. Mm-hmm. So what I want is a Thor with a weakened banner to find in like a bar tavern saying, seeking passage to Earth. Mm-hmm. Who could take us there? Does anyone know a pilot? And then they run into Nebula.
That is a possibility. It's actually a pretty good one.
It is, because she's the loner. Mm-hmm. So why not? Also, I just realized we need one more Infinity Stone.
Yes.
We need... I looked them all up. We need the Soul Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where that's going to be.
I want to put my money on that Thanos already has it.
That's what I've been thinking.
That would just be the easiest.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that would be easy, because it's not going to be in Homecoming. If it's in a Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
There's got to be a good reason why.
Yeah, that would just take the whole juice out of that movie, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, I would like to go back for a second.
It won't be in Thor.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Well, so there's another character that they introduced in Guardians, and that's Mantis.
Oh, Mantis. Sure. Yeah, Mantis was good. She had good moments.
Mantis was a really interesting character because I actually had to look up Mantis because I didn't know much about her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's very different from how she's been established in the comic books.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, this isn't fair. They dumbed her down. They watered her down. She could have been like this badass." And at the same time, I'm like, "True," but she brings in a different type of people. She's representing a whole different group of people by the person they made her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she's almost like Drax. Drax spoke a lot to autistic people. And the autism community, and in a way, so does Mantis. Granted, probably higher functioning autism, but other non-neurotypical peoples, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they handle her so well. She wasn't a major badass, but the problem is in a movie where everyone's Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of like everyone's basically a badass.
Yeah.
So, everyone had a moment in this film, I thought, which is good.
Yeah.
If you look at it in the progression of these characters that we're getting, this is her origin story, realistically.
Yeah.
And so I think her presented as not the quintessential badass that she's she's developed as in the comics is good. We start her at kind of a lower power, and then she is able to build into this character that fans know her to be. It's way better. It allows people to enjoy her more that don't know her as a character.
And think of the fact of how powerful she is. She held off Ego for a good minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
I think she had probably, like, out of all the, if there's like a top like scoring for scenes, she had the second best scene of the movie, where she and Drax are sitting and he's staring at like the little lake or fountain.
Oh yeah.
And so
that was a good moment.
Best unspoken acting ever, because obviously Drax is a character who very straightforward, very big about, like, that's the thing everyone forgets is like, oh, you know, he's very literal, but that doesn't mean he doesn't hold things back.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously still fucking destroyed about his family, and then she feels it.
Yeah. The thing is about Drax is everyone in the film is looking for the family, and then they realize that they're all family. Drax is the one that's been through it, where he's lost his family, and he knows what this group is.
Yeah.
He's the only one that realizes it. He never voices it, but he knows what Peter is. He knows what Gamora is, and Rocket and Groot, and now Mantis and probably Kraglin. They're his family now. He will fight for them. He will die for them. And that's the point. Because he has gone through a family and lost a family, and now he has one again. Which he's like loosened up in that regard.
Yeah,
definitely. And one other thing,
trying to give Peter advice.
In terms of Mantis's power, think about this for a second too. Gamora was about to kill her, and Gamora's like probably the best fighter out of the whole group. And she told her, "You're afraid," and that just deadpan
brought her down. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I love the nuances of Mantis and all the stuff she did, and also I just like the fact that now Drax has someone who understands him on the level that, like, because you know their conversations were very straightforward and very simplified, and it's cool because, like, instead of always like for Drax, like, as a character, everyone talks to him and there's like, no, I didn't mean it like this, or I didn't say it like that, right? At least now he's talking with someone who goes at his pace. And I'm hoping if Mantis does start to become the badass character she is, I want it to because Drax teaches her to be that way. Like, that their relationship is like a give and take, where he learns to communicate differently through her, and she learns to kind of be her own person through him. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I don't know. We'll probably, depending on if all the Guardians make it through the Infinity War, we'll probably won't see that until the Volume 3, which has been announced.
That'd be awesome. Also, Dave Bautista yelling "my nipples" is the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah. That was funny.
I love that at the beginning of the movie. It's just like, why aren't you wearing the vest? I have sensitive nipples.
Yeah. And Rocket gives him shit for it. That's good. I want to talk about some of the end credit scenes.
Oh, Ghost, yes.
I really like the end credit scene with Sylvester Stallone and all those characters.
Yeah,
and his character, it's Starka Ogar. I think, I forget. I'm probably butchering it like crazy, but apparently his name is actually Starhawk.
Yeah,
and he was the original. All those characters
are the original Guardians,
along with
including
with Yondu, or including Yondu, or the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
and the comics. So there probably won't be a spin-off. James Gunn has said he wants to do something with them for sure. They won't be an Infinity War, but I can imagine in Volume 3 that Peter stumbles upon them and, like, maybe rescues them or fights with them or something, all of that equivalent.
Right.
But yeah, that scene was interesting.
Did you catch what that red alien did with his hands?
He like gave thumbs up or something.
Did you see how he did it though? That was Doctor Strange way. That was the magic.
Oh
no, I didn't.
And my little brother
that.
Freaked the hell out, and he was like, "But how could an alien do that? I don't understand." And I'm like, I was like, the plot of Doctor Strange was magic's universal.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter where it's a way. And so when I saw him do that, I was like, "Oh, that's really fucking cool." I don't know who the fuck that character is, but that was badass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually had to look up all those characters because I was trying to figure out. Like, I knew Yondu was the original Guardian.
Right.
Yeah.
Fun fact though, they weren't actually called the Guardians of the Galaxy in title.
Right.
No.
Until like 2008 when the reboot happened. And that's weird, but at the same time, it's cool to see that they acknowledge that these characters were there.
Yeah. Everyone was like hyping Sylvester Stallone so damn much. And it's like he's got 3 scenes.
It's like 3 scenes. That's it.
Important. I mean, he banishes Yondu, but then he redeems Yondu. You know, they're good scenes.
I mean, he did a great emotional piece.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you learn a lot about the Ravengers just in that scene.
Oh yeah, like definitely you get a sense of their culture, and the kind of devastating thing Yondu did.
Yeah, and what it took for him to redeem himself.
And then you realize Ego basically ruined Yondu's life.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was definitely like, it all harkened back to Ego being a total prick.
Before we get to the other important end credits scene, can we talk about Stan Lee for a second?
Yeah,
sure.
Dude, the internet has blown up. He's a watcher. Oh my god, he's a watcher. No, just chill the fuck out.
I like the idea, right? I'm like, that could be really cool. But on the flip side, I just love the fact that like he was there and he's just going on about like all this stuff. He's like, I was a mailman.
He was talking about the scenes that he has played in other Marvel movies.
And I'm just like, like everyone's like, oh, he's a watcher. I'm like, maybe it's just Stan Lee.
Yeah, man.
And I just love the fact he's like, you guys are my ride.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see the Watchers again, because, I mean, they're kind of important. We probably won't see them for a while, though.
We might see them at the end of Infinity War, maybe. The one thing I know during the whole jump scene, if we can talk about because we saw that during the jump. Oh my god, I love that.
That was really funny. Which 700 jumps. Mm-hmm. We did see some aliens. They're like giants, like purple. They have like these clubs with crystals on them. You saw them for a minute. They are the people that take in Hulk and Planet Hulk. So we'll probably see them in Thor Ragnarok.
That is exciting.
Perhaps, yeah.
Oh, did you guys catch Jeff Goldblum's character?
Oh, in the credits?
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a reminder about Thor.
Yeah, no, and I like how they just came out like, it's, he's there. Interesting thing that I kind of knew, but I kind of forgot, was that character is the brother to the Collector.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
Explains the makeup. It's the
makeup and the chin thing, that line under the lip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I remember reading that somewhere when they first Jeff Goldblum, and that was like last year.
Yeah,
I was like, "Who the fuck is this character?" Oh, he's. But I just like the fact that they put him there, and they didn't even have to they didn't explain anything. They're just like, Jeff Goldblum, everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that was. I love Guardians of the Galaxy because it's good and it doesn't have to take itself seriously, and you can get away with a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, there's a review I read that really kind of ticked me off, which was like, this is like if the Avengers movie, if we had the Avengers movie without all the other supporting movies.
But that's the point.
But like, one, it's the point, but two, you're talking about other superheroes. Like, Peter is just a regular dude,
right?
And Drax is an alien, so his strength is bigger than Peter. And Gamora's enhanced. She's also an alien, but she's also enhanced, so she's going to be stronger and more agile than Peter. Rocket's super intelligent because he was made that way. Groot's a fucking tree and can grow shit and beat people up with it. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, they're all special and weird in their own way, but they're average and they're in their species. So they're not Iron Man.
Yeah.
Peter's not going to jump out of a plane and do that one knee thing. He'll die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like, because like, this is about the group. That's the point. They're called the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not called Star-Lord. It's not called Gamora. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you have to take all these characters at once.
Okay, one other thing. You gave me the most brilliant thing, Nick.
What?
Because it's like, when Peter gets to Earth, right? He's not going to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I hope that if if there's a moment where they could have it, where Captain America sits down with Peter Quill, because it's two guys who are missing two different periods in time.
Oh,
and Peter's like, "Let me tell you about the '80s. Let me like," and then he's like, sitting there, and he's like, and then he goes, "Oh, is that like this iPod thing?" And he goes, "What's that?" He goes, "It holds 2,000 songs." And Peter's like, "Holy shit, tell me more." and Captain America's like, "Well, I don't know. You gotta tell me." And they're like, it's two guys trying to figure out the current present. And one's like one's from World War II.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. The funniest end credits scene I thought was with Teenage Groot.
Actually, apparently he's not officially Teenage Groot. Gunn released a statement saying he's tween, so he's like
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's close enough.
It's close enough. I thought it was neat.
I just like the fact that like Peter had that perfect monologue, like the dad monologue.
Yeah.
Boring. I'm not boring. You know what's boring? Me tripping over your roots. That's boring, you know? You're just sitting all day in this room just playing that game. That's boring. Not cleaning your room. That's really boring.
Yeah.
Me, no, I'm not boring.
And then I love how he has that split-second realization of, shit, is this what Yondu had to put up with? Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He literally says, like, now I know who Yondu felt.
Oh, by the way, that one little snippet of Yondu teaching Quill how to shoot.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
I
like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it when he walked into Groot's room and there's like pollen dust everywhere. Which is kind of simple for I don't want to walk into that. But yeah, I thought there were some pretty good funny moments, but I'm going to tell you now, Shane, if we're going to get to the one moment that I think you're really looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
Adam Warlock will not be Infinity War.
My heart.
I mean, come on.
That was an out. Well, yeah, it's too much of a build-up.
Yeah,
I know, but he's such an important part to it, like the downfall of Thanos.
Yeah,
sure.
But I mean, we don't even know if they're going to kill Thanos. They could just beat the hell out of him. Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling he's going to be the main character that the Guardians will have to deal with in the third volume, right? That's kind of what we've been presented with as a possibility.
That's a possibility. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the best you could come up with is that. Yeah, he's going to be the antagonist / villain / I shouldn't be an asshole to these guys.
Right.
That's what I think. That I think is going to be his evolution. Mm-hmm. He's going to be about to kill him and then realize that he shouldn't be an asshole.
Right.
I'm really impressed that they brought him in this way through the through this movie, instead of what they did where everyone thought his cocoon was in the Collector's. Because I thought it was. Like I was like, oh, that's Adam Warlock or a hint, right? But what got me, I was super excited. Like when she was sitting there, and the moment she goes, "Is this a new pod?" and she's like, "Yeah," and he's gonna be perfect. I was like, "Say his name." Say his name. And my little brother and Quinn's sitting next to me goes, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Adam," and I lose my shit. And he's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I'm like, "He's a cool character." And I was like, and also he can kick the shit out of Thanos, so take your pick.
He won't be in Infinity War. Sorry,
that's fine. I mean, I'm just happy that he's gonna be a character. Adam Warlock's really cool, and like I'm not like a super huge fan, but I've seen him in comics, and I've seen him in team-ups, and he's always just been like a really cool character, especially since he's kind of like having a character who's kind of like Superman, but not be a fucking piece of crap. Like, okay. Well, I mean, like, you know, it's like, oh, well, Superman can fix any problem. Adam Warlock's designed to be perfect, but he's not like the end-all be-all.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
And I think that's really cool. Also, I actually just like his visual look. The fact that he's like, I mean, in his early comic design, he's just a gold dude wearing a badass red suit. Like, I was like, I like this look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be cool to see it'll be cool to see his character, see what they do with him.
I mean, they're definitely starting to pull from the other pool of superheroes they had. Like, because, you know, the one thing you always get afraid of is like, well, what's going to happen when they have to introduce new characters, but they spent all their time developing the Avengers, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, the Avengers are definitely going to change.
Oh,
like there's a rumor, there's a thought that Captain America will die in the first Avengers movie.
Interesting. So we'll have Falcon take over then as Captain?
It's either Falcon or Bucky.
I mean, I'm fine with either route, really. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it'll be sad, but I think it'll be. I mean, it definitely will be a sad moment, but like
it'll be appropriate.
Yeah, it really will.
Knowing the Captain and his character, it'll be a death that he sacrifices himself for.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. One of the movies we haven't gotten yet, and then one of the characters we haven't gotten yet is Captain Marvel.
Right.
But the movie won't come out until 2019.
Damn.
Wow. That's a ways out.
So, yeah.
Alright.
I don't know. I mean, and 2019 is when the next half of the Infinity movies comes out.
Sure.
So, no release dates.
Alright.
Just 2019. Alright, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we've said it before. Until then, we got a pretty sweet lineup. Thor, Spider-Man, and then following up, I think it's Black Panther.
I think Black Panther's next year.
Yeah, next year.
Before Avengers Infinity War.
Excellent.
And then we have Infinity War. This time next year, I'll be talking about Infinity War.
That's going to be my favorite podcast right there.
Yeah, that's a big thought. And then after
it's apparently
after that,
so it's Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok,
yeah.
Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I was going on.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, the second half of the Avengers film, apparently another Spider-Man movie after that in 2019.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Yeah,
provided Sony's not going to be fucking dumbasses and go, oh, it's successful now, it's ours again. You can't have it, Marvel. Piece of shit.
Just dig yourself a grave there, guys. You did it. You done good.
Hey, they made it successful. Let's take it away from them.
Yeah. Here's a grave. You can go ahead and bury yourself there. Okay, now.
Yeah.
You did good, kiddos. You did good.
Alright.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this upcoming lineup. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah. If there's a movie I'm looking forward to that's nothing to do with superheroes, it's War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
The last trailer really came out.
With that series.
Looks so good. Yeah. The other two movies have been phenomenal.
Yeah. First one wasn't that great, but the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was awesome, and I have high hopes for a War.
Yeah.
So, see what happens in July. July's going to be busy.
Oh, it definitely will. It definitely will.
Just hope it won't be hot. But hey, we got climate change, so it probably will be. Yeah. Maybe an impeachment this summer. Who knows? Okay, we're out.
Okay.
And on that note.
Thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, maybe go check out the blog. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And,
yes. Yeah. Share the page.
Please do all those things.
Shout. Yes, please do all the things. See us post
all
it up.
Them. Do it all.
Do it all.
And you want to know what? If you actually send us a message on Facebook, we'll probably respond right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have nothing better to do.
Right?
I have Facebook up all the time, so I'll get notified by it.
Ditto. Alright. That's it.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Deuces, y'all.
Later days.